Hey everybody, welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast with your hosts Jake Saldati and Chad Rothford.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? It's been a while.
Been about a week, yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good.
As good as you can be.
Yeah.
Follow the podcast on Twitter at HIT.OR.DIE podcast, on Instagram at HIT.OR.DIE, also on TikTok, buddy. Still pulling off some TikTok stuff. Listen, it's no... I didn't even know where to start or how to begin or how to get to it or how to talk about it. Fresno City job, baseball job is still open at the moment. You did apply. How did that process?
It was long process. I think it should have been quicker. They knew Coach Scott was retiring early on. Applied for it. Had a great interview, was told I had a great interview by multiple people on the panel and whatnot. I didn't move on to the second interview. The Final Four, if anybody's wondering, everybody knows already out there. Everybody knows everything.
Final two?
Everybody knows everything. Well, I'll just say the Final Four that got interviews were Hirschkorn, Mitch Carricker, Greg Gonzalez, and myself. And the final two that moved on was Hirschkorn and Mitch Carricker.
That's what we've... No.
That's what is facts.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get a call, and neither did Greg Gonzalez. Neither of us haven't gotten a call.
Is that how? I don't know if that's how the process typically works. If you just find out when you find out.
I mean, I think a courtesy call would be nice, so you're not like me. I was like freaking out like a week after the first interview.
Yeah.
And I find out the second interview already happened. So it's just.
I know I'd heard that also people have been told they weren't getting an interview that did apply. So, yeah, there was a notice or something sent to those that didn't even get interviews. But, yeah, I kind of agree with you on the process. Like, they're in school.
The second interview was done a week ago to today. We're in Monday. The second interview was done a week ago. They should have hired somebody by now.
Like, I just don't get why it's end of August. Fall practices are going. And we still nobody knows. I just don't get why it took so long. Clovis High, and granted it's high school, but had a job open.
Theirs took long.
Right, but not all summer.
Yeah.
For what I think is
But their coach also didn't finish the year, so
that's true.
They had a longer time.
Right.
So, whatever. It's what it is. It's
Well, first I congratulations on the year, on just everything that you did and accomplished and went through as far as family, school, going through the season with the guys. I know they got your best effort last season. I don't know what the future holds for you. If you intended to coach or not, it's still probably fresh, I'm sure.
I just made a commitment. I just made a commitment to coach soccer. Soccer, yeah, 8U, 8 and under soccer. Don't worry, it's not travel soccer. It's my kids playing school soccer. So 8U, they need an extra coach. I said, why not? And I'm actually really excited for it. These 8U kids have no idea what's coming because I bought a ladder, speed ladder. I bought hurdles.
They're in for it.
I bought a parachute. Dude, I'm going all out. We're going to learn soccer. We're going to learn footwork, speed. The coaching and love for coaching is not going to leave me, whether it be baseball or soccer. But as of now, in my heart, I feel like after the Buller job and then this, like the dagger can only go so deep into my heart. Because if you know me and you've been coached by me or you've seen me coach, you know how much I love coaching and how much I put into coaching, and the love I have for my players and how I would go above and beyond for each one of them to help them succeed in baseball and life. I don't know if it's there right now. And like you said, it just happened. I was all or nothing. The other two at least, they have dream jobs they can go back to, right?
or jobs,
whether
they're dream for them or not. Right.
I'll take FPU for 14 years. I'll take, Mitch is Division I coach, been at Division I level for a while. I get to go back to Costco. I get to wake up at 2:30 in the morning and go to work at 3. So, it hurts. I put all my eggs in this basket, and
as far as the coaching stuff,
as far as going for this job, being prepared to take over the job at Fresno City, I was told a lot of things that had my mindset on this. A lot of people, I turned down Coach Scott to go back to coaching. I was done after COVID. I was done, and I turned it down.
That time off, just kind of
time off with my family. I was like, we were doing the podcast a lot, and I was going out and talking to schools, and I was having fun with that. And I went out to interview Coach Scott before COVID, and we were coming back from COVID, and he called me. He's like, I want you to be my hitting coach. And I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm done coaching. Like I'm enjoying life right now. And then he talked me into it, and I don't regret it.
No, not at all. You guys go get the record, you know, part of that moment, and that.
So I don't regret it, but I was also, when I went back, I was told a lot of things, and there was a reason why I went back to get my master's degree. And I'm not saying it was supposed to be handed to me by any means. No. I'm not saying that at all. But I did everything I was supposed to earn the right to take over as the next head coach. And it just didn't happen. It's not for me, I guess. So, yeah, it hurts a lot, especially to a place that I love so much. And I know like Underwood, and I know some of these people really understand how much I love Fresno City College, not only the baseball program, the institution. I was able to go back and get my college degree from there because luckily the syllabuses were so like the Division I school at Oral Roberts that I was able to graduate, and I didn't have to go back to Oklahoma. So a lot of my life was there, and but yeah. Soccer, man, 8U soccer. I can't wait. I told CJ he's pumped, but I told him the head coach's kid's got to do more. You're not getting away with anything.
Like as far as rumors go, or like speculation, or
I don't know. I don't know who's the coach. I don't know what they've decided.
I'm just saying, like a lot of people have heard a lot of stuff the last handful of months.
And now that I know what's going on, a lot of it might be true. A lot of it might be true. I know there was a name going out there that was going to get this job, and there's a good chance that name gets the job. And I don't know. The rumors could be true. There could be a whole other reason why somebody gets the job, and, I don't know. But, I'm not afraid to say this out in public. I'm the best fit for that job. I really am. I believe that to my core. For what I did in the last 2 years by sending guys Division I and not these school the blind schools, and actually good baseball schools, and getting that back, and then recruiting the high school players that are there. Not all myself, obviously. I did it with help from all the other coaches, but the time and effort I put in, I thought I deserved it.
Listen, I don't know if many people will be able to say things. You and I are close, right? Yeah. So do you think, or what would you like the resume part of it, like not being a head coach, how much do you think that may have hurt you at all?
There was only one coach on the panel that was a head coach. There's only one person on the 4 that was a teacher. So, and that guy.
So I'm saying when people question that, you
can't question it. And then you question the.
Well, people can question and say whatever they want. You yourself, you're not. That's not like, I remember when Andy went for the Madera job. That was a knock.
Yeah,
I think we've talked about it. Like, no head coaching experience. Mm-hmm. Only been coaching a few years.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been coaching longer.
Because people are going to say that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah. People are going to say, well, no, you weren't. You may feel you are. You may say on here, I was the right guy for that job.
Yeah,
people are going to have their
own opinions. Sure. I could care less what their opinions are. They haven't.
I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit.
No, and that's fine, because there's going to be people that think I would have been terrible for the job. But there are also people that weren't at practice. They weren't there when I was there 2 hours before practice.
Or don't talk
with
to
players.
The players.
You know what I mean? So it's like they don't know what I did or what I put into it, or how I ran the social media and all that kind of stuff. and took time away from my family to do things for Fresno City and players. How many times my wife said practice is over and it's really not.
Well, I also go back to like the length of time that's been spent on this to not have a coach already.
That's ridiculous.
Like the disservice is to the
8th.
Players.
Yeah.
Right. That's all that matters in this whole thing at the end of the day anyways. Mm-hmm. And they don't have a coach necessarily.
Yeah.
They don't know who their head coach is.
For the most part, they'll have a coach they don't even know. If you think about it.
Like, so I guess that's my whole thing with the whole process has been, why dragging the feet?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
I've tried to stay out of it as much as I can. I've gotten obviously the same rumor stuff and texts and calls. And
I mean, you found out before I did on some things.
Sure.
And I don't know, man. I haven't heard from anybody. I haven't heard from anybody on the panel. I haven't heard from the athletic director. For all I know, I could still get the job. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I don't know. Obviously not true, but I don't know. Am I still in it? No, of course I'm not in it. They had the second interviews, but I just think a courtesy call from somebody on the panel.
I don't know who does that. I don't know how that process works, especially if
and then I've heard,
JC
they just don't contact anybody. Well, that's pretty fucking unprofessional.
I know in my somebody close to me, I'd rather not say who, but their process is they do that quite often. Like if they interview, they also let them know like, hey, if you don't hear from us by this timeline,
yeah,
you probably weren't the you know,
of course,
don't wait 2 weeks to not hear anything.
Right.
Like if you don't know by, 5 days, we've gone with somebody else. But for the most part,
been fine. They
don't reach out. Yeah. And that's what I was told. So
well, then they're scared, and that's wrong. That you should always reach out to people that interview for a job at your institution or job or whatever. That's just being a nice person. You should let them know. Thank you for your interest. We're moving on with somebody else.
Yes, thank you for your interest. And I think that people that didn't get interviews got that. Like, hey, thanks for your application.
They got more than me and Gonzo.
But even
got.
Thank you for your time that you have put in, the time that you did spend,
bro. I mean, you know how much time I put into preparing for that interview.
Well, everywhere. And into coaching, period. I'm talking about your time the last couple of years working with players.
I was still recruiting. I was still getting guys places at Fresno City. I was in the process of 2 of our really good freshmen, Likens and Sky Collins, trying to get them signed in the fall so they had somewhere to go. And that was kind of tough for me. I talked to Sky, and I just told him I most likely won't be back next year. And, I try to tell those guys, if you need my help, I'll try to help you, of course, but it's not my job anymore. It was made clear that I'm not that guy. So,
yeah, I also feel like that doesn't mean you couldn't have been. Like I've told people like,
no, I should have been.
And listen, I'm biased.
That's my opinion and whatever, but
that's fine. I'm biased. I think you'd have been good at it as well.
I honestly think like since I'm so outspoken, I think that scares people.
Well, yeah.
And they're like afraid.
Yes, 100%.
They're afraid to give me something and be like, let's see what he can do with it. Right? I can't be manipulated. You can't manipulate me to do something like, and I know, I don't know, man. I felt like I was going to do good things there for the program. And a lot of people might be like, oh, he's going to change everything and forget about, dude, I had so many plans for Coach Scott and Solberg and things that I wanted to do to the stadium that like represented the tradition of the school, not just from Scott, but Lynn Bordette. And there were so many things that I had in mind that I wanted to do to honor everybody that came before me. And I think a lot of people were just like, oh, it's Chad Roth. He says what he wants to do, and he only cares about what he wants to care about, and he's going to go in there and he's going to do his own thing, which is far from the truth.
Well, you should do.
I am going to do my own thing. I am
right.
going to do my own thing. I was going to bring in a great coaching staff. You know who it was. I'm not going to say any of that. I was bringing in a great coaching staff, an all-new coaching staff, a young coaching staff, a hungry coaching staff, one that's ready to go and compete and get after it. And that's not a knock on the coaches before us, but that's my style. That's what I wanted to bring in. I kind of want to, it's not out with the old, in with the new. It's just like, I want to get back to the hungry tradition. And, I wasn't going to take anything away from the guys that came before me. I was going to honor everybody I'm thankful for everything that came before me.
Well, why not? I mean, why not have an alumni? You know what I mean? Why not? And listen, I know
true alumni, dude. A true alumni.
I know that there's higher
one
powers.
That was there for 2 years, All-American. That's been back in this town. I didn't leave and not come back ever. You know what I mean? Like, I know the coaches in this area. I've recruited the players in this area. Yeah, am I well liked? Probably not, but it's because I say the truth and people don't like that. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything.
I don't think that, like, who gives a shit about that though?
Well, they want somebody. They want somebody that's, I feel like they want somebody that's just gonna go along for the ride and that kind of thing. And I'm not that guy, man. Like,
well, we'll see. I don't mean. I'm not gonna. I just think the process was odd.
The process was odd.
Like
still
personally, I don't.
I don't know.
Everybody knows that I was pulling for you. I don't need to say that.
Yeah.
I don't. I like all the people that interviewed.
Yeah.
I respect all those guys.
I do too. I don't have anything against anybody. I just I would do a better
job. You wanted
job.
the job.
Yeah.
What is it like? What do people want you to say?
They want me to say, "Oh man,
nah,
I'm glad
cool.
I
I'm glad I didn't get it. I don't think I was ready anyways. I'm
ready.
not the right guy. Like, what do people want you to say? Of course, you're going to say that you were the guy. You should.
Yeah.
I would have. When I didn't get the job, I felt like I was the right guy. It sucks.
No, it just sucks that you apply for your alma mater not once but twice in Bullard and Fresno City.
Well, I don't think that. I mean, I get it.
I know Bullard was a different situation and how it happened there, but then I'm like trying to put the puzzles together on how the decisions were made for this job, and it's.
Well, there's still no decision out there.
Yeah.
I do, knowing who those two guys are. I mean, my personal opinion, and I don't know if it matters or not. Well, it doesn't matter, to most people, I'm sure. But we do this, and I'm not going to shy away from it. It's just, and I know we kind of threw Mitch's name out a couple of years ago when he did
the interview.
He did the podcast, who I'm not saying is a bad fit. It's kind of hard to justify when you have a guy that's been a head coach for 15, 16 years.
And been successful in the area.
You know what I mean? And so it's an interesting decision that whoever has got to make. We'll just have to wait and see. I know we kind of skirted around the whole topic last week, and that's because you did interview. And, I don't think this is necessary to rock the boat, but I'm glad that you should be able to speak honestly about it and your situation. Like, there's no muzzles here. We're even holding back right now. Let's be honest. There's more shit that we know.
There's a lot of puzzle pieces that I know of why the decisions were made.
No, fuck the puzzle pieces. There's just more shit we know that we're not saying. And I just prefer to keep it that way. But I think
for now,
yeah, whatever.
For now,
I just think you should be able to speak your piece on it.
Yeah,
No,
and I look back at it, and
it's not like your time was bad at Fresno City College.
No, I've had ups and downs too after this decision was made. Of very emotional and stuff, and then trying to figure out what really happened, and this guy said this to me, this guy said this to me, and all this, and it's just kind of like I don't know. I don't even know what I was going to say. I kind of just forgot. It's just there's so much shit that's going on that people don't know about.
Yeah.
And but I can say this is I did everything I was able to do to give myself the opportunity to get this job. So
either way, I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah,
I am seriously. I am proud of you. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait. I've not heard a decision yet.
I honestly heard September 1st thrown out there. So
really?
Yeah.
That's the whole another week and a half away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe by springtime we'll know. Hey, moving forward in some weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the Manti Te'o?
I loved it. I feel so bad for him.
Wouldn't it like
that was crazy?
Do you remember that time when all that was going down?
All I really like thinking back on it, like I just thought he had a fake girlfriend and made it up or whatever. Like I didn't even pay.
They kind of reported on it that way. Like,
yeah, I didn't really make anything of it. I kind of thought about how difficult that was to try to make up a person, and
like for him to be behind all of that.
Yeah, yeah. Watching it, I was like, oh dang. And then everybody's like, well, how does he not see a girl for like 3 years, whatever? It's like, you don't understand how focused he was on football. Like, there's just no, like, and then all the people he went to, I mean, he went to buddies. Do you know this person? They're like, oh, yeah, we've talked to her or whatever, blah, blah. Like,
that verified she actually existed.
This Lene,
I forgot her name.
Lene existed. So, I mean, he did his due diligence to find out if this was a real person or not. And then the dude can change his voice the way he can.
Dude, that's what tripped me out the most.
That was creepy.
Me and my wife were watching it, and she's like, that sounded like a female.
Yes.
That sounded nothing like who's doing the voice.
Yeah. And then when he went on Dr. Phil and did it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Go watch it. I mean,
yeah,
it's like, but then like Manti's coming out and he like released the voicemails and stuff. And then the Lene guy is like, why did he release the voicemails? It's like, dude, you just ruined the dude's career, his life. Like, you ruined his draft, his money stock. You ruined, like, and you're worried about him releasing voicemails.
But what about,
you died and came back to life?
I will say,
effed him up in the head.
Yes, that was. Go watch it, because the details we didn't know as just fans of football. Holy cow, it's crazy. But listen, he was probably going to be a high draft pick the year before.
Yeah.
So. And that was his decision to stay at Notre Dame and come back.
But he did everything he was supposed to.
Sure. I mean, yeah, he was.
His girlfriend relationship was going very well his junior year.
Well, and he was
it was going very well his senior year.
Finalist for the Heisman, and honestly, very well could have won it. I mean, one of the best defensive seasons.
It was the highest votes for a defensive player, defensive player of all time. So it's like. And then I remember watching the national championship game, and I was like, dude, he does not look good. Yeah. Like, he looks terrible. And I remember my buddy Brendan Duffy, diehard Notre Dame fan.
Shout out.
And I'm like, dude, we were talking on the phone, like, what's up with Manti? Like, because we didn't know. But then you watch this, and you're like, oh, yeah. He just found out his dead girlfriend now is back to life.
Was it grandmother?
They died in the same day, right. Which was another kind of like, what? Like, which his grandmother really did, pass away. And that was another thing I felt bad for, is his family's trying to console her supposedly cousin, which was him, in the passing of the fake person. And but they just dealt with a real death in their grandparents. And, another shout out, one of my best friends, Jake Howe, that is Hawaiian, and that's family oriented. Like, they take everybody in as their own.
Right.
And they take that serious. It just it makes me feel bad for the family.
It's a cultural thing. God. It's not fake.
Yeah. So it was just.
I just really crazy. Shitty. Like, they got to the Deadspin part of it of who put the article out.
Yeah.
And I was like, man,
why couldn't you wait to
the timing was it was
deliberate.
Just
they
after
said that.
right
before the national.
Right before, right? That's what I thought. It was either right before or right after.
No, it was right after.
It was this. I think it said January 16th, and it was to be first.
Yeah.
And they had not even clarified all the sources and stories.
Yeah.
I just thought, man, oh man, there's more to what's going on and what you're putting out than a story. Like you said about the person that catfished him. Like, you are affecting somebody's life.
I mean, he fell to the second round. Here was a guy that was supposed to go on the top 5 picks. And then that's another thing too, is how do the NFL teams not do their due diligence of knowing what's really going on?
Does it? But see, at that point, does it matter? Because it's a hot topic, regardless whether it's true or not. He's trying to limit damage for the draft, and it's you're not saying enough, but can you say too much?
Yeah,
it was a weird situation. I'm with you. I felt terrible for him,
and I felt bad with how bad it messed his head up, and the anxiety he got, and he hasn't really been a good NFL player because he's just so jacked up.
I mean, he has made somewhat of a career playing football. I think I saw a stint with New Orleans, signed to the Chicago Bears practice squad in 2020. Said he was elevated to an active roster last January ahead of the team's wild card game against the Saints, and as of this season's a free agent. But no, not a career as you saw at Notre Dame.
I mean, he should have been a perennial linebacker in the NFL, but he was just so effed up in the brain because of what happened to him.
It was fun to watch the tapes on him, watching him play.
How good he was?
Bro, he was an animal.
Yeah.
And,
even in high school.
I thought it also odd. Like you didn't see. I know was Charlie Weis was where he went there as a recruited player, right?
I think so.
And then I think Brian Kelly came in after. You didn't see any of the coaches involved in any of that documentary, which I thought was. I wonder if I'm sure they were approached and preferred not to participate.
Yeah.
But no, I was trying to think. Like I remember, I remember like being on his side. Like, dude, we don't know what really happened. I was younger, but I wasn't like one of those people that shit on him or hated on him.
And that's the thing.
I just thought it was a weird story. Yeah, I mean,
I'm tailing. Like, bro, you guys don't even know what he's going through. And he's got to be in this top physical shape and be a freaking, a beast out on the field.
Well, and to think that he played, I think he was unsure of what was going on when he found out all that stuff about the passing of the girlfriend. And
there's a whole season pretty much.
Right, but I think it was the day he was supposed to play, right? He was supposed to go out and play, like right before.
No, he played, Tuesday it happened. It was like a Tuesday.
Was it during the week? I don't remember.
And he played like
But he's under the assumption that these things are true and real with the girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're still getting to a state of mind to go compete and play. And I don't know, man. I'm glad that he was able to come out and speak his truth to it or tell his side of it. And it was very interesting. It was definitely something worth going and watching.
But there's another Untold on Netflix, Manti Te'o. There's another one of the tennis player, Marty Fish.
Oh yeah.
I watched that one too. It was actually really good.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I haven't watched that. Other stuff going on. You got Little League Baseball in full gear. For Little League World Series is going off. The West team is kind of just dismantled. Both teams they've played, I think 11-1 and like 11-0.
Cool.
Are you big into the Little League? No. Really?
Little League?
Like watching this stuff, the World Series. I know they had the big leaguers deal yesterday with it. No,
I don't care.
You don't care? When did that stop?
When all these kids are like 13 years old. Should be in like junior high playing Little League. I mean, you remember the lefty pitcher last year for that one team? It was like
no, I don't remember.
Okay, well he was like he wasn't even in their Little League. They like brought him on for All-Stars.
Oh yes.
He threw like a perfect game and like it's just stuff like that, man. It's annoying.
I wanted to bring into I just read it because I haven't seen anybody post on it or talk about it. College baseball announced some rule changes for the upcoming season, so I just wanted to pick your brain on some NCAA rules adjustments to the pitch clock. 20 seconds with a runner on base to start action. So the pitcher's got 20 seconds to make a move either to the plate or pick. You can step off one time per batter. If an infielder calls time,
counts as step off.
It's like the pitcher stepping off again once per batter. But the other stuff I thought was interesting was fence padding. And the only reason why I thought this was interesting is because Fresno State has nothing in front of their dugouts.
They put when COVID happened, they put those like
but it's just like guard railing, like it's just you know what I mean. Like if you go to it's like parking lot railing.
Yeah.
The fence padding panel approved a minimum 3-foot fence of protected netting be in place on field side of dugouts. Is required by Division I by January 24, and then 2 and 3 by 25. So they still got time.
I think,
but I'm assuming
I like it.
Like they're one of the last ballparks that has nothing in front of the dugout. I can't think of it. I mean,
when was the last time Fresno State was upgraded? I know it's an issue too. Like,
I think they've done the turf part.
They did the turf behind home plate.
They've upgraded padding. I don't know as far as stadium improvements. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought that was, and thinking about like I don't know any other programs that don't have railing in front.
Yeah.
They're just wide open dugouts still. The other one was starting in 2023, celebratory props will not be allowed outside the dugout. I didn't see any teams using props. Where are they using props? Outside of the dugout?
Yeah. When a guy would score or hit a home run, they'd come outside, give him a big old chain, give him a hammer to run and jump and like.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Give him
I remember. Yeah.
Who's your daddy hat? The Tennessee Vols or daddy hat, or it's a daddy on it or whatever.
But I'm saying, like, what other teams did you? I don't remember seeing other teams do.
I don't know. Maybe more.
Yeah.
It's not on TV.
Here's another one I think you'll like. All coaching appeals of an umpire's decision or interpretation of the rules for a play on the bases are to be made at the middle point of the team's respective foul line. In other words, you're not supposed to go out and argue on the field.
Yeah. We actually did that at City this year. Coach Scott could only go to the line. They had to come to him. The umpire had to come to him.
Really? Mm-hmm. You guys did that in JC ball? I had no idea. It's the first I've seen or heard of it.
I think it was a COVID thing at first.
So they're just sticking with it?
I mean, as a coach, wouldn't you rather just let that MFer come walk to you?
I guess, yeah.
Especially after the third out and they run out to the left field corner.
I mean, like, I guess.
Yeah, mother, you got to come to me.
You probably know whether you're going to get tossed or not, too, right? Like,
yeah,
so
maybe.
Let him walk to you and then he can run you.
Exactly.
The other one is either by conference rule or mutual consent between two teams, a game could be completed with one umpire.
That's just
collegiate baseball we're talking about here. Thought that was an interesting one.
So is that like a makeup game and they can't get umpires? They can have one umpire?
I don't know. That sounds like a high school
Does
rule.
he get to pick where he wants to umpire from?
I didn't get the details.
I'm going to be right behind the mound.
Yeah. Some high school stuff right there. Either by conference rule or mutual consent between the two teams, all extra innings, 10th inning of a 9-inning game or 8th inning of a 7-inning game, meaning like a doubleheader, would start with a runner at second base. So it has gotten into college baseball. Now, it does say by conference rule, so I don't know if each rule has to adopt this.
Or mutual consent.
Right, or between two teams.
Yeah.
So does that take place before the game happens or series? I'm not sure. This was literally word for word what I took off the NCAA's website. But extra innings starting in the 10th will put a man on second base. So that's where we're going.
Let's keep changing it. Keep changing the game.
I mean,
I don't care. I'm not a part of it. I'm not.
It's over. This is the last episode of HIT.OR.DIE podcast. There's no more baseball to discuss.
We're now going to be Truth or Dare podcast.
It is fall too.
Yes.
So, NCAA's back. Obviously, we discussed Fresno City briefly. Mm-hmm. Well, not briefly, but we did talk Fresno City. They're back. Reedley College, high schools, wherever you are, fall is going on. And like, I don't know if we've talked about it, but like, what are some things, especially as coaches, like these kids can look to do? Because I was thinking about like, if there are kids that listen, especially high school kids, like seniors, like this is where you take control of your team, like becoming a leader. Like as a coach, this is where we're doing a lot of weight room right now, or at least when I was coaching, this was the time we were doing a lot of weight room stuff, where we wanted the seniors to take control of their ball clubs.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the time that needs to happen. This is the most important time for the teams that don't have guys playing football and stuff like that. This is the time to get bigger, stronger, faster, understand your plays, your bunt plays, your situational plays. This is all the boring stuff that makes you a better baseball player and makes your team better for the spring. And this is the time where you have those freshmen coming in and that are going to be a part of the program, whether they're still on freshmen or whatnot. This is the time those seniors can be like, hey, this is how we do things. This is, the way we do things. This is the culture we have here. And, obviously the coach is going to implement that stuff, but it does help coming from your senior leadership or junior leadership or whatever it is. But this is the time the leaders need to show up.
Yeah, it's not limited to seniors.
But this is the time they need to step up and kind of take over And this is where a coach would like to see guys, I don't want to have to coach everybody. If
or
I
police everything.
Exactly. If my players can do it and take control, and I could just put up our lifting thing, and these guys could keep each other accountable. If I could do this is the bump plays we're going to do, and we're going to run them, and they can keep each other accountable. It's only going to make your team stronger. It's going to make you a better player. And this is the time for that.
Yeah, getting those younger kids kind of acclimated to, one, the history, right? Why it's important to us, what we're trying to achieve, right? Because I know the freshman teams don't win Valley or section titles, but you got to want them to want the same thing, when they get there. And it starts with seniors setting the tone, or your junior, whoever your class is, and even more so for the guys that are playing like multi-sport. If you're not a multi-sport, like even more so, you got to kind of step it up. And I want them as freshmen to, don't be afraid to get in their ass a little bit, but also be, a friend to them. Because I remember being a freshman and being like
scared
shitless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I didn't know how to respond or react. Like it was a little more acceptable back then as well.
Oh yeah. And I mean, but we were like, when we were freshmen, we were like, okay, I'm not going to talk to them because I don't,
Well, I don't know. We didn't lift together either. I mean,
yeah, we didn't lift either. But I mean, if you're watching them do anything, you wanted to do it the way they did it. Like that's just how it was. Like I wanted to be a varsity baseball player. I want to do what the varsity team's doing. And plus, it's so different now because you have freshmen on varsity, you have sophomores on varsity. So it's just like that didn't happen very often when we came up. It was, if you were a freshman on varsity, you were legit. Like it just didn't happen. Now your sophomore year, you'd see one or two maybe, but yeah, it's just everybody's friends now. And I think it's great to be friends, but when we're in class and we're lifting or we're at practice and we're doing drills, it's business. It's time to get to work.
Right. It's time to push.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, we're buddies or, that kind of thing. We can be buddies in 2 hours when it's over.
And I think for the younger guys too, it's like, listen, if I'm going as hard as they're going, they don't have any choice but to accept me.
Yeah. Or push them. Be like, this freshman's not going to outwork me.
Yeah.
Go outwork them.
And coaches see all that shit. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like,
this is your time to make a name for yourself now by working, putting in the work, doing the work, grinding. I mean,
not waiting till you get there.
Yeah. I mean,
how often do you hear that? Maybe not hear that, but just you see it. Like
you see it. I don't think any high school guy is going to fess up to that, but you see it. We've coached long enough where it's just like,
because there's some guys
this guy thinks that he's going to change.
Well, he's not coming out of the lineup.
The next level.
He's not going to be out of the lineup.
Yeah.
So he can.
So
that mindset or behavior is kind of,
I mean, it's just like being like, I'm good. I got the perfect game. Yeah, but you batted under 300 in high school. Yeah, you're a great defender. You make some good plays. You batted under 300 in high school. You think you're going to go to your 4-year school and like hit over 300?
Well, I also think if you're waiting,
even do that in high school.
If you're saying like I'll wait till I get there or whatever.
Wait for what?
Just to go harder.
Wait to get passed up by the people there.
Exactly. It's too late by then.
Yeah.
It's too late by then. And I don't know the college side of it. I didn't do it, but like, so, okay, even you at ORU, being a JUCO guy, your expectations going to ORU, were they what you thought or was it harder?
It was harder because at City, we did our lifting program in the fall was like, we had Sabonia. So Sabonia would come out and we never were in a weight room. We had like, it was all that free stuff back in the day. It was like 45 pound plates. It was medicine balls. It was wall sits.
He was rough, man.
Yeah, it was all hard. That kind of stuff. Sprints.
Yeah.
It was all that kind of stuff. So I got that part of it and I was ready for it. But when I got the Oral Roberts, fortunate, I'm going in as a junior, right? So I'm not a freshman going into a 4-year. And I was going in with a lot of California junior college guys that I knew. So, and we knew the standard that we wanted because we all had a chip on our shoulder. Like,
right.
Not saying ORU's bad, but we weren't at the Power 5. Nobody wanted it. Like we had that mentality. Like
you were the last picks of the litter. Basically.
Yeah, we were the band of misfits,
right. The island.
Yeah, the island of misfit toys or whatever. Yeah. And we wanted to go in there and prove everybody wrong. So we, went in there, trying to outwork each other, and it just made us better. And going to 5:30 weights every morning, like it was. Yeah, you have to get used to it, but this is what I wanted to do. This is why I came here. I came here to get better.
I guess that's what I'm saying. Because that mentality, if you're a senior and it's like, hey, it's go time. I'm not waiting till January for it to be go time. It's go time now. We're preparing.
Where do I want to be? How do I get there? It doesn't start. It doesn't start in the spring, game one. It starts in the fall in August.
Because I say this, and the reason why I wanted to kind of touch on this is because I want the younger guys it's a big deal. It's not, and I guess it's the difference, somewhat the difference between travel ball and school ball is that there is more me in travel ball than there is in high school ball.
Yeah.
Or even, especially at the next level in college. And, it's about the team, right?
Yeah.
You could have the greatest day in the world, but lose.
Yeah. And I mean, even in school ball, you're going to school with them all day. You're in the weight room with them. You're practicing with them. Yeah, you might have travel ball practice or whatever every day or workouts.
But are you being accountable every day for that travel ball team? No.
No, I mean,
because you're not together every day. You're not playing every day. You're not practicing every day. And that travel ball team may be different next year.
Yeah.
Or maybe in 2 weekends, there's kids, well, we're out. We're on, or you know what I'm saying? That's the difference that I like what high school brings.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like I was a guy that I'd short my 9 and 10 rep. Like I didn't do it right the way I didn't do it the way I should have done it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was in football P. I hated lifting. I didn't like lifting. I didn't understand it then, because that's when it was just getting kind of big. Was lifting like when we were in high school, because we didn't even do it in baseball, lifting weights and stuff. Really, I remember in 0 period P. I know I'm not going to go play football. I just didn't even care. Right, I didn't even think about it. When those could have been helping me get better for baseball, those reps and like the lifting and stuff. And it's just like, I go back now and it's like, dude, I wish I took that serious, lifting and understanding all that.
It's a small price to pay to get what
Minimal.
You know what I mean? What you're looking to get out of it. Like I said, I was that guy. Not always, but I remember like there were days that I just let my head get the better of me. Right. And I worked a little less harder than I should have.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful because it can lead to that happening again the next day.
And it also helps too. Like, I know some people are like, oh man, we're out working and grinding and doing all this. And yeah, but are you doing the right stuff?
Sure. Is it all quality?
Is it
work just to work doesn't mean you're getting better.
Like if you're going to hit off of hit tracks and try to hit home runs off of hit tracks, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're not making your swing consistent and better and the right swing to play in the live game, And hit tracks is good. There's good things about hit tracks, but if you're going there just to see how hard you can hit the ball,
how far
it goes, you are missing the point of this.
Well, have you noticed? You see all the swing VR spot like ads where these guys got the virtual reality headsets.
Yeah.
And they're like, I see a lot of them. There's a few of the videos where they don't even have a bat.
Yeah.
They're swinging without an actual bat.
Yeah, there's like a little hand thing.
Well, what's the purpose of that?
Again, it comes down to making money, seeing live at bats, supposedly.
Well, that's fine. That's cool. There's a VR machine I get. But then why would I not swing without using a bat?
Yeah, it's a moneymaker, man. If I'm a hitting coach and I don't have any of the gadgets, and then this guy has all the gadgets, which is really cool, who are you going to go to? If you're smart, you'll look at, okay, what does he really teach? How good is he as a hitting coach? How good was he as a player? Does he know what he's talking about? Where is he coached? Do the players have success before him? Or, oh, that guy's just got some cool shit.
Well, is cool taking over? Like, cool. It's cool to say certain things, too.
It's cool.
Because I told you, like,
it's some cool shit, but I guarantee you, you take the same player and he works with, all right, I said this the other day. Take one player and go do a month. Just do a month. Go out and hit off a tee for a month straight. Just hit off a tee and try to hit the back net. Try to hit hard line drives off the back net. And then even do front toss too. Do tee and front toss. Just try to hit the ball off the back net. Don't even worry about mechanics. Don't even think about mechanics. That's all you're trying to do is hit the ball off the back net as hard as you can. A line drive, a line shot. And then go work with a freaking guru that's trying to teach you your exit velo and dip and drive, and do a month of that, and then go off of a BP pitcher and see who has a more consistent swing. It's so hard to teach your scap, your rotator cuff, your back hip joint, your right knee patella, or it's like, no, just go hit the ball as hard as you
and
can.
have tilt. And I'm with you.
Like, there's so much things that these kids are trying to think about to make their swing successful when we're just making it harder. It's all about keep it simple.
It's extremely complicated.
It is very complicated.
Like, it is cool
And these
now
kids
to just
are already just effed up in the head as it is with failure. They don't understand failure, but we're coaching them to fail. We're coaching them not to be successful. It is the opposite of what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to teach them to be okay with failure, and it's going to happen, and how to get through it, and how to succeed past it, how to move forward. We're supposed to teach them how to get better, how to have a consistent swing, hit the ball hard. Like, a lot of this stuff, I feel like it's just backwards, man. It's freaking annoying. And I just like, how many hitters are really out there?
So like we're talking like different concepts that guys are trying to work on in one swing, like the scissor.
Yeah.
And
You can't teach the scissor. I hate that. If people do it, people do it. Trout does it, he does it. If guys
the ones you see are like Altuve and I see Miguel Cabrera was hit. I'm like, these guys. How much of it's just natural thing they do?
It's a natural thing,
or a thing they work on every day.
And that's what it's like. When I'm with the hitter, I don't teach them, oh, you got to squish the bug.
Well,
or you got to. I mean, does anybody go out there and teach Frank Thomas to swing? Why not? Why not? He was a Hall of Famer, 500 homers, over 300 batting average in his career, a gazillion RBIs. Why aren't we teaching the guys to hit with their back foot off the ground constantly? Because that was something he naturally did. You can't teach that. You can't teach that. That's what I'm saying. Why are we teaching things that are like, if my body doesn't move that way, then why would I try to learn that?
So
like George Springer hits, and Will Myers does it too. You know, when they swing and their back foot almost stays like flat on the ground.
Yes.
I tried that, and I almost blew out my freaking leg. Like, I felt like my leg just almost twisted off. That's not the way my body moves. I'm not going to teach somebody how to do that. Like, I had guys that scissored at junior college level. It worked for them. I'm not going to tell them not to do it if it's successful. I'm not going to teach, you know what I mean? That's a natural movement.
More comfortable? But what if it's not?
Well, if it's not comfortable, then why are they doing it
Like,
anyway?
a lot of guys don't hit the same.
No, nobody does.
So
there's only two parts of the swing that are the same. We've talked about this. It's the load and stride point when your foot hits the ground and you load your hands back, and contact. Those are the only two things that are pretty much identical on any type of big league swing you want to look at. The only difference in hand placement will be the pitch location. That's the only difference. But for the most part, at contact and at launch and stride position, they are the exact same. And I posted pictures on it of all different types of hitters: Babe Ruth, Judge, Trout, all the best, Griffey, Bonds. They all look exactly the same at stride point and contact. So that's what I care about. I want to know, are you in a great position when you land, your front foot lands and your hands are back? How good of a position are you in contact point? Okay. That's the stuff that I want to get to. How can I teach a guy to get to those spots? Because in the history and the facts that tell me is that's where they need to be. So is the scissor going to help him get to there? Somebody that's never done it before, I'm going to teach him how to scissor? Or am I going to teach him how to, dip his back shoulder? Like, remember, the more movement you put into a swing, the harder it is going to be consistent. The harder it is going to be to get on plane. So if I'm worried about my legs going this way or my back shoulder going this way, rather than trying to stay level and parallel in plane.
Because you got guys trying to teach all that stuff
They're teaching all that shit
in one swing.
Yeah, so you have all this.
You have
movement.
that much time to react.
You have what now?
So I've got to figure out how to connect all those dots.
Now,
that assuming the pitch is where they think it's going to go.
Exactly.
Because location's going to change.
Yes.
I think
rather
that's
than
why
just
I'm
a
just
nice smooth swing.
I'm over all of it, man.
I am too.
And like so, and then where does you see all these videos about your tilt here, feel this, your hip here, and your turn, and blah 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 blah. Why don't they talk and do some approach talk? Like there's an aspect of becoming a good hitter.
Yes. Approach is key in understanding situations and also understanding the pitcher and what he throws, what he commands, what he's thrown for a strike, his location. All that stuff plays a factor because when you want a hitter to go to the plate, you want them to not think about anything. Just react. You want to react. Do we have a plan? Are we sitting on something, and we trying to hit it? I want you to hit it hard. I don't care where the location is. It's more so a pitch. I'm not telling them, hey, make sure you scissor, make sure you tilt that back shoulder on the swing. No, I mean.
Well, and like, how do you, unless you're at a very high level, do we want 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids scissoring with 2 strikes? That already have a hard time hitting as it is? So if we're not going to hit the same way with 2 strikes, why hit that way at all?
Yeah. I don't know. The 2-strike approach is kind of a thing that's lost too nowadays because everybody wants to swing the same. But I've seen it work, but I don't know.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't work.
I feel like we just got to shorten up, and our main focus with 2 strikes to put the ball in play. However you need to do that, that's what you can do. There's not one way to have a 2-strike approach. There's not one way to swing a bat like we've talked about. So, but I think approach is lost. A lot of people don't talk about approach because there's times where I'll do a lesson, not anymore, but because I don't have all the gadgets and stuff. But I'll talk approach with them. Like, what are you seeing here? Like, if you throw a nasty curveball and you look bad, what are you going to get again? You know what I mean? Like, I like talking to the players and hitters. Like, what are you thinking in this situation? Or like, that's why I've always said on deck, you should have 2 at-bats before you get in the box. It should be in the hole watching.
Yeah.
And on deck should be an at-bat.
Yeah.
There's 2 at-bats right there where you see pitches, you see what he's thrown, you can see the location. And a lot of times they tell you, the guy in front of you is how you're going to get pitched. That depends on the hitter or what type of hitter. But
runners on base. Like, there's a lot of factors in how you pitch a guy.
If you're not getting about 10 at-bats a game mentally and, physically put together, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to be a better hitter. Because to get an advantage, you have to understand what he's trying to do, not only to me, but to my team, and where he's attacking, what pitch is working, And fortunate, I keep all track of every single damn pitch that we see in a game. Come to me and be like, hey, how many times has he thrown his curveball for a strike? Well, he's thrown 10. He's only thrown 2 of them for a strike. So our plan should be the fastball.
Right.
It's like stuff like that.
Well, listen, I was always, you always heard don't swing at the first pitch type of stuff. But again, it goes back to understanding what they're trying to do. They're trying to get ahead.
Trying to get strike one.
Why do they charge strike one?
Because it's very important.
Right. So, if they're charting strike one and it's a big deal, it means the pitcher's trying to get strike one. And most of the time, it's not by swing and miss strike one.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what the numbers are, the data shows, but you get a lot of strike ones looking.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've noticed with
because they're not the perfect pitch.
Correct. Well,
but why? But then again, why would nobody trains for the perfect pitch?
You step in the box, so that's when you should be ready to hit.
And that's what I try to get into my guys' heads is you can't sit location, I feel. Like, I hate when guys are like looking location.
I guess it depends on what level, though.
I still think in college, no.
Well, but in high school, I think you can guess better location.
Okay, then why are they still taking fastballs away? You know what I mean?
I don't know, but I'm just saying we could assume that the majority of pitches.
I think you're better off telling
on the
hitters,
outer part of the plate in high school.
I just think you're better off saying fastball in the zone, because how many high school pitchers as well can locate that outside corner? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot more mistakes in high school. So if I'm sitting away and he pipes one middle in by accident, I have to be ready for that pitch. So if I'm just sitting a fastball in the zone and trusting my hands, hitting the ball where it's pitched, I feel like that is the approach where you'll have more success.
Right. No, I totally agree. I'm saying we can.
Now, the higher you get up, the more
right. Better pitchers, the more they can
and that's
control
where like
and spot
likes the hot zones,
right.
and you know.
No, I totally. I'm saying like we can. It's easier to say in high school you're probably going to get pitched middle away.
Yeah, but I just don't want my guy looking middle away.
Correct.
And taking it middle in.
I totally agree with that
because he accidentally threw it there. Well, that's my mistake. I need to hit.
I guess what I'm saying is the odds are are better that the ball.
And I agree
they're going to live off the plate.
I agree they're going to try to throw it there, 80 to 90%, if not more. But we have to be prepared for a strike. So,
and yeah, just the less complicated. Like, and again, that goes back into your fall. Like, again, you older guys, like these are convos that have them with that younger level group. You know, like you're gonna have them with your coaches. I'd at least hope you have them with your coaches. I don't know how all programs operate, but have these conversations with your teammates.
I know we talked approach a lot.
You know, like. Some people don't want to go see all the guru stuff on, like, what we see it, but what do we not want to see? Like, who do you like to see? Like, for the kids or the parents that listen, or for kids that are listening to the podcast, what are guys because you see a lot of shit you don't like. I see a lot of things I don't like. Who do you watch that you do like? I know
my favorite guy is Nelson Cruz,
right?
By far. I also have the Bryce Harper video of him in Chicago, where he did his whole routine. You can go look it up on YouTube. It's a great freaking video to watch. A lot of the 30 for 30s, I like watching and seeing how guys take their approach and stuff like that. But the ones I really go back to, Nelson Cruz and Segura works out with the same guy. They have a place they go to. The dude's amazing. I like watching their stuff. And then that Bryce Harper video is just unreal. And, you know, if I was a player, I would go watch those. I don't need to watch. I want to watch a routine. You know what I mean? I don't want to watch a guy one swing.
Yeah.
Because that's all we see a lot of is one
Send
swing.
me a clip of one, 2 or 3.
No,
I get
Bryce
that.
Harper's is literally like 5 minutes long or however long, 13, 14 minutes long of him doing his routine, the drills he does. You know, Nelson Cruz is constantly freaking drill.
And I would even go as far as to say, like, if you're out there or you have a kid out there, don't be shy to send us, a round of tee work, with 10 swings, 15 swings, whatever. I'm sure you wouldn't mind looking at some of it. I mean,
I do mind.
Do you? Okay.
No, I don't mind.
You know what I mean?
I don't have a problem giving feedback. The problem I do have is don't waste my time.
As far as how so?
If you want feedback, I would want to see you work on my feedback. Because it's free. I'm giving you free advice. I'm not charging you $100 an hour or $70 a half hour. If you want some advice, I will give you some advice. Send me another video of you working on it. See where we're at. And that's another thing that bugged me about this Fresno State. I had 2 guys already at their colleges send me videos of them hitting and asking me what I see.
Always coaching, bro.
I'm not good enough, though, to be a head coach.
Hey, before we shut it down, I encourage you guys, high school guys especially, like you older kids, go take control of your teams. Show your coach you're ready to be a leader, whether it's in the weight room, the classroom. Be a good teammate, man. And show these younger guys what they're in store for. We're all you guys are trying to win. So, and the work starts now. You can't wait. You don't want
to look back and be like, I could have worked harder. Because it happens.
Yeah, and a lot sooner for most people. Some guys don't get to go play collegiate baseball, professional baseball. Sometimes high school is your shot. So,
and there's nothing wrong with that. Be the best high school baseball player.
Yeah, I guess just don't be in a rush to get through it. Don't be in a hurry to
enjoy it.
Don't be in a hurry to be done with it. Like,
yeah,
that's all. Have fun this year. Have fun. But before we go, dude, how much fun is it to see Albert Pujols chasing 700 or some more history, and at whatever age he is?
Yeah, at age 46.
40. They're saying 42. I don't.
There's no way he's 3 years older than you. There's just not. There's no way. The dude looks like he's 50. I mean,
yeah, I'm going to be 40.
Yeah. So it's just like,
believe it or not,
it makes it more impressive, to be honest.
Sure. I don't think they really legit know
how many does he have?
I think he's less than 10 away.
I hope he gets it. I really do.
Yeah, he's coming down to the wire.
He's been a great player. He's been technically clean his whole career. Never been. I mean, whatever.
I don't know. I mean,
I doubt he was. But he has been. I can't knock that. Just like everybody says Barry Bonds was, but it was never proven. So it'd kind of be the same case. But I guess not, because he'll get in the Hall of Fame and Barry Bonds won't, even though he never didn't pass
positive.
So, yeah, it would be nice to see him get there. 700.
He's been hot lately.
Yeah. Him, Yachty, Wainwright, the three amigos.
I guess he's still done regardless. So if he does get over 700, I mean,
he's gonna be pushing 50.
Jason Bond.
Time to get out.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see, man. Baseball, Major League Baseball's been kind of all over the place. You know, a couple weeks ago we were just talking about how the Yankees are just running through everybody. And listen, if you go look at their schedule early, wasn't as tough. I'm just saying. But I think they're 3-7 in their last 10 and struggling. And Boone's been a little animated. I saw that press conference. He's a little pissed, and he should be.
His job's on the line. His job's on the line, not the player's job.
Right.
His job.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. But
we'll get into more MLB talk.
I mean, Tatis with the steroids or
got popped. We didn't talk about that. Yeah, I mean, most of those teammates were pissed.
I would be.
As you should be. Again, another situation where you should be.
Especially somebody that didn't need it.
No.
Because a lot of people did it to get paid, to have a career year, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and they just invested so much to make this playoff push for the wild card spot, and you're anticipating this guy coming back to help your club get there and reach the pinnacle, to make your lineup even more dangerous, and then to have some bullshit like this pop up. It's just, I don't know, man.
Stupidity is what it is. It's immaturity or not having the right people in your corner, understanding what you're trying to do. So
we'll see what happens going forward with the Padres. But more MLB talk next week for sure. Again, more city updates, I guess, to come. We'll see who they decide to go with. And that is another episode, Chad. The Hit or Die podcast.
Hit or Die.